All right, Chase, coming back to Texas. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. I really enjoy road course racing. So this is our first road course race of the year. So it's always a fun one to go to. COTA has kind of turned into one of my favorite road courses. It's just very unique. It's very high speed, heavy braking zones. There's 20 corners, so there's a lot of opportunities to make passes, but also make mistakes. And hadn't been to Austin until 2 or 3 years ago, and really just kind of had fun every time I go there. The city has a lot of really cool places to kind of check out, and really good restaurants too. So yeah, looking forward to getting out there and yeah, just enjoying the weekend in Texas.
You have a top 10 at COTA, sixth place. Um, it's one of the most challenging road courses on the NASCAR circuit. How do you prepare for the 20 turns and the elevation changes?
Yeah, just spent a lot of time on the simulator. Truthfully, we've done a ton of work at COTA over the off season. You know, COTA was one of those tracks. The first year we went there, I think is when we finished sixth. Then the following year, we led quite a few laps there and had a bad restart at the end, got in a wreck. And then last year, we just weren't very good. So we feel like as a team, we've kind of gotten worse every time we went there. So over the off season, honestly, just getting our COTA set up better was one of the key priorities. So I bet I've spent 14 or 15 hours alone over the off season just running laps at COTA. So hopefully that'll correlate over to this weekend's results, and hopefully we can go there and have good speed and run up front all day because it is a huge place to go. Just starting your season off on the road courses, you want to kind of hit the ground running, and hopefully we can do that.
With the new aero package, how do you feel it impacts maybe a performance on a road course?
Yeah, it's hard to say. You know, we had a different aero package at Phoenix, and there wasn't a whole lot different from inside the driver's seat. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, I do think COTA, you're feel it a little bit more. I would say it'll definitely make the racing a little bit better. We'll be able to pass and things like that a little bit easier. But it's hard to say until we go there and do it. I know in the simulator, you can tell a little bit of a difference, but you know, the simulator is one thing, doing it in real life's a whole nother. So yeah, I'm very curious to kind of see how it goes. You know, we do have some extra practice there this weekend, which will be nice to kind of try to fine tune our setup and things like that, and try to learn the racetrack. You know, they've changed a lot of things there with where they've repaved it and some stuff like that. So that'll be a little bit different than what we've ran there in the past. So yeah, looking forward to it. And yeah, I really don't know what to expect from the aero package, but hopefully it'll be better than what we've had before.
You know, you're the lead driver at Stewart Haas Racing. How do you balance your strategy to win and being a good teammate?
Well, I think all of us are out there trying to win, right? So that doesn't really change anything whether I was the lead guy there, the young guy there. So that part hasn't really changed. I feel like I've just tried to take more of a role in trying to just be a really good teammate and trying to lead by example. You know, that's something in the past. I would try to be a good teammate, but I didn't necessarily have to lead by example because I wasn't the guy leading the place. And you know, now I know being there the longest out of all four of our drivers, I know that you know the new guys for sure are going to kind of look at the guy that's been there the longest and see how you know I'm doing things on the racetrack as far as how I race my teammates and things like that. So that's been the biggest thing. And you know this year with having all new teammates, it's been really good. We've worked great together so far, and I think that's only going to continue to grow throughout this season. And I've been really happy so far with how everything's going. I feel a lot more confident in kind of what I've been doing, just being kind of in that leader role now that I haven't been in before. So it's been a lot of fun so far, and yeah, looking forward to continuing it on throughout the season.
Okay, have you and Eric Jones sat down for coffee and hugged it out? And is everything cool there? Or how do you manage those off track distractions?
Yeah, it's all good. We talked last week at Bristol. I guess he had reached out during the week, but I had switched numbers in October, so I guess he had my old phone number, and I got hit one of my tire changer on my pit crew. His wife is actually Eric's sister, so it was pretty easy for me to get his phone number through him, and I called him that night at Bristol, and we talked it out and had a really good conversation. So yeah, all good on that front going forward. Like nothing ever has happened. So yeah, good to kind of clear the air there. And yeah, looking forward to racing with Eric. We'll be racing around him a lot this year.
So when you race a road course like COTA, you have an uphill start, you have a lot of single file racing. How do you race aggressively and how do you pass? It's not like four wide on an oval.
Yeah, it is definitely different. You know, there's certain parts of the racetrack where you got to be really patient and just honestly at times, like you said, single file, you just kind of following behind the guy. But then there is opportunities where there's these heavy braking zones and there's a ton of passing opportunities where you have to be extremely aggressive to make those passes. And You look at turn one at COTA when we go up the big hill and restarts, it's 6, 7 wide sometimes just as it funnels down into one lane. So it is hard. It's a hard balance to have, especially at COTA, just because you go from these areas where it is very wide, where you can do a lot of different things, but then it instantly leads into a part of the racetrack that's single file for the next 4 or 5 turns. So you're trying to all jockey for position and be in a really good spot for those single file spots, just knowing that you can't really pass through there. But on a road course, I feel like you always have to be on the aggressive side. It seems like the more aggressive you can be, under braking and things like that, and just driving the car, the faster you typically go. It seems like anymore the more patient you are on the road courses, just the slower you go with how good our cars are these days. So kind of always got to be aggressive, and it makes for a long day inside the race car. There's nothing really more physical than the road courses, and hopefully the weather will cooperate this week and won't be too hot for us down there.
Yeah, that can be a hot, long race. Tell me about the tech. We see the raw power, we hear the cars, and it's so exciting. But actually, there's a lot of finesse when it comes to the data and the tech. How much tech is involved in NASCAR racing?
Yeah, there's a ton. That's one thing I don't think the general public probably realizes, just how much goes into it, just behind the scenes from the tech side. Just the technology is so big in our sport. You look at our just Stewart Haas Racing, we have roughly 300 employees for 4 race cars, and 120 of those are all engineers, and that's all they do is trying to figure out ways to make our cars go faster. And even our tech inspection process, the car has to be within a thousandth of an inch just to pass tech. We have war rooms, so we have a room in Charlotte that's constantly going through data as we're racing, and whether we're in California or Texas or whatever, we're sitting there talking through digital radios back and forth with our teams in Charlotte. There's just a ton of stuff that goes on, just the analytics side of it. It's crazy, how much analytics that came into our sport, just trying to figure out what the best way to go about each corner is, or what the best statistic is on restarts and where you should start at, whether it's the inside row or the outside row. There's a whole data sheet every week as drivers get of kind of being able to prepare for those kind of things. So there's a ton, and that's the one thing I feel like when people do finally come to the racetrack and kind of get to see behind the scenes, they're blown away at just how much technology and data is in our sport these days.
When you come to Austin, what do you look forward to? Barbecue? Is there anything you like to check out? Maybe some live music, or is it just too busy?
We're definitely busy when we're there, but the last 2 years, my best friend from back home has came with me, and we've always went to Perry's Steakhouse. That's been like our thing the last 2 or 3 years. So he's not going this year with me, but I might still have to go back and just do one in his honor.
Yeah, you got to do that. They open up another side restaurant called Carve, CARVE. So
All righty,
maybe put that
I'll
on your
check that
list.
one out. Yeah, I
So
have to check that
finally,
one.
tell me, what would you like to say to the fans about the racing this weekend, and how excited are you about coming back to Texas? You're a really good road course racer, and I think it's going to be a fun race. But what would you say to the fans?
Yeah, I would say definitely, if you've not been, you have to come check it out. COTA is such a unique racetrack where you just get all these different vantage points. It's really unlike any other road course just because there is 20 corners. And with the elevation change, it's one of the few road courses where if you're at a certain part of the racetrack with the elevation, you can see quite a bit of the racetrack, where a lot of these road courses, you go to, sometimes you can only see 1 or 2 corners, where at COTA, there's spots of the racetrack where you can see 6, 7 corners. And I feel like COTA does a really good job of just putting on a great fan experience. They always have a really cool concert pre-race and things like that. The facility is absolutely top notch. If you've never been before, it definitely blows a lot of the places that we race at kind of out of the water. So it should be an awesome race. The road courses seem to never disappoint. There's always chaos and action, especially at the end. We've seen it at COTA before, where they were 3 wide for the win with a lap to go with 2 corners left. So it'll be a good race. The aero package, there's a ton of unknowns, which makes it exciting too. So yeah, definitely come check it out. And if you've been, I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. So we'd love to have you out at the racetrack. And like I said, it should be an awesome race, and looking forward to getting there.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and get the latest news by downloading the CBS Austin News app.